Good afternoon, everyone. It's always a pleasure to come here and give us our perspective on what retail is all about for DLF malls and how we see the market evolving. So this time around we said, let's share with you the consumption story, the consumer story, and where we have seen retail evolve over this period and what we see as future. I totally endorse what Arvind was saying, that retail is no longer omni-channel, digital, physical. It is about multi-discoverability by consumers. They can discover digitally, they can then transact physically. What really makes a difference for us is the experience that we give to the consumer. How do we enrich their lives? So at DLF, what our focus has been is enriching the consumer life, be it her weekday, be it the family weekend, or be it the millennial way of life. So you'll see that that's been our focus and that's been our journey to success. I'm here introducing Manish Mehrotra, who's the head of operations for shopping malls. Please welcome and joining and congratulating him. He's just taken over as head of operations. Over to you,
Thank you, Ms.
Manish.
Bector. Good morning, everyone. I think while I was observing, listening to all the chats, one of the things that I really enjoy being in images is that I get to meet a lot of 90s retailers. You know, 90s era of retailing was I think it was a different world. So just taking on from there. So there's a Chinese saying which says, may you live in interesting times. Now the connotation could be different. What it really means to us today is that, you know, as human beings, there are two things that we've always learned over the years. Number one, recovery. Number two, faith. I think it's the other way around. Our faith makes sure that we keep recovering for everything that we go through. We do face challenges, personal, economical, social, health, everything. But I think what we do beautifully is we recover. And how? So, you know, we today we are in a situation which is both in terms of political and economic. It's evolving, it's growing. We call it turmoil, we call it challenging, and there are a lot of fancy words. Reality is, it's all a part of evolving process. What takes us through in this entire situation is simple, okay? We have faith, we have confidence, we know there's a future. All of us look towards a good future, we believe in it, and somewhere we try and figure out our ways to a great future. So having said that, let's see what's happening in retail with our situation. You know, excellent. Last 2 years back, we were talking about what's going to happen in future. The 2 years are behind, all's going good. The retail market in India, from a 9% share, organized retail has doubled. It's today at 18% market share, which is great. What's happening in luxury? There was a point of time when people said luxury, India has a very small segment of luxury, and I'm possibly going back a decade back. What's happening? The Indian market today is 2.5 billion, which has grown to $5 billion. Right? So I think these are all very strong points. All this happened in the last 2 years. So again, recovery, faith, and confidence keeps us going. Now, what has this translated? When you do a little deep dive, what has really happened? Most of the people, 75% of our consumers, are very, very bullish about things like, you know, we have things like, they're more positive. They feel that this whole thing about turmoil and recovery will last. It's a short-term thing. It's 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. What happens? Post-COVID, I'm just, not that I like to take COVID references, but yeah, just to kind of mention a point. See what happened after COVID. The moment markets opened, consumers came back. We had a very clear indication people want to indulge, they want to shop, they want to go out, and not only that, there was an emergence of new categories. One more interesting fact that came out was that there are consumers who are mature, evolved. Most of them, they want to go for out-of-home activities. They wanted to go out. They wanted to indulge in activities that are more external. And this is what it means. And this is going to be relevant to a lot of us. If you see the categories, dining out, Most of the people, very strong dining out, preferred was dining out. A very interesting category, sports and apparel equipment. It became a very, very strong category, right? Then we have things like travel, lodging, vacation. Now, if you see this chart, a lot of new categories people started indulging in. So I think what's happened is that every time we keep evolving, and all our previous notes in the morning spoke about how things have evolved. Recovery, faith, and evolution. I think these are three things that continue to happen. These are all positive. The big message is that any turbulence, any crisis is only leads to two things. One is learn better, remodel the business, take the next step, and embrace the future. Having said that, what's happening in our lives at DLF, I would request Ms. Bector to take us through the journey.
Thanks, Manish. So as we've been looking at consumption, the interesting part is we at DLF believe in really trying to see the trend coming and take advantage of that. I'll give you a few examples. When we first started curating malls, we had 2 F&B brands. Today, we have almost 200 unique F&B brands in our portfolio. What did that achieve? It achieved a trend of creating a community within our retail environment, where shopping becomes incidental and the communities come in, be it friends, be it families, come in to throng and seek experiences that we give. The second trend that we looked at was athleisure, and this was before the COVID word hit the market. We looked at athleisure because we saw wellness is a state of life. People, as we evolve more as human beings, as Indians, we wanted to be fit, we wanted to be looking at ourselves internally more, and so we started betting a lot on wellness. That paid us great dividends. Today, it's great to see that, imitation is the best form of flattery. We started the first athleisure zone in the country, and today that's the way most of the developers go and create athleisure zones. So what we are going to be doing is we look at retail leasing in 2022. It's going to be actually doubling. We see a lot of interest in good brands coming into the country, be it luxury, be it athleisure, be it consumer durables. I see a lot of energy happening there. I have a very interesting take on the whole thing. First, when retail happened, we looked at retail as convenience. We looked at organized retail as a space of convenience. We said, organized retailers, you don't need to bother much about high street shopping and traffic, etc. Convenience was the solution that shopping centers offered. Move ahead, we started offering choice. Mall of India was one such example. For the first time, we offered 450 brands under one roof, plethora of choice. Beyond that, now we are moving into the age of community and experiences. Interestingly, if you look at internet, it's also following a similar philosophy. Today, internet functions or thrives on creating smaller micro-communities and the micro-communities interacting with each other and creating magic within that community. We do the same thing in our shopping centers, our shopping malls. And the way we look at the next frontier will be that experiences will be in the driver's seat. We always have to constantly, like Shailesh was saying, innovate. We have to also develop green thinking. I do think that Gen Z or millennials, they're all seeking conscious consumerism. They will trust those brands which are sourcing right. They will trust those brands which are also looking at the back end as much as the front end. So these consumers are going to be very different to, say, the 90s consumer. So what is it that we have? We really need to develop and deliver the right perfect blend, which is shopping, dining, and culture. And that's what we did with DLF Avenue. It's our latest COVID baby. We actually created 30% of the space as dedicated to food and beverage. We created a precinct called Commons. Today, Delhi talks about commons. They have embraced it openly because it was a point of difference. It made people realize that, you know, life is about experiencing and enjoying on a daily basis. And we gave them that product that they felt very relatable to. And it was a product created for millennials. And I'm happy to say that the kind of events and culture and dining experiences that we provide there resonated with the audiences. We really don't know much about, you know, thankfully, the online, offline talks have stopped now. It's more about cohabiting and co-growing. And that's the way I think the, consumption is going to lead. Mall of India, a quick talk about that. When we started Mall of India, of course, as I said, we had 400 plus operational brands. And what we did then was create the first zoning for the country. Again, Arvind was saying that there were many brands that was non-existent. True. We started Mall of India with just 1 million square feet. We doubled it in the 5 years of construction because we stretched the entire retail proposition. We brought in, the ethnic and Indo-Western fashion to an entire zone. That stretched the market. We got them out of high streets. We got a lot of the value brands out of the high streets. So my belief is that in India, we have a phenomenal level of talent, and a lot of micro retailers are there who have fabulous brands, but they're small. Our ability in organized retail is to be able to actually look at those brands and pull them out and give them a stage. We've been doing that constantly in DLF, and some of them become our permanent partners. So going forward, we want to deliver experiences where the consumer is. So our thought is around homes. In DLF, there are lots of great home residential development that we've got, be it in DLF 5, be it in West Delhi. So around homes, we'll be developing plazas. The plazas are small shopping centers which are non-air conditioned and literally our answer to online retail because it answers conveniences and it gets people back again and again for their daily services. So the plazas. The next is around the offices. We want to make office amenities the third space for the office goer. So we are creating a series of retail propositions, Cyber Park being the latest. It's actually proved that, Cyber Park has got 70% office occupancy. And the reason for that is because they love coming there and seeing the experiences that we have offered. So we want, going forward, office amenity to have its own character for DLF. The other, of course, are destinational malls. Apart from Mall of India, we will also be launching the Mall of India Gurgaon soon. It's highly awaited. It would be a mega project, but it will have many malls within a mall. And the other that we really take a lot of pride in is the city center malls. Promenade and Avenue Saket, we all know. Goa, we are going to be launching for leasing very soon. It's DLF Avenue Goa and DLF City Center. All these, the city center malls will be high on dining and culture because we have to be the spot for dining and culture. And of course, we believe that we brought luxury to the country and we will be expanding Emporio very soon and actually expanding the luxury destination for Delhi NCR. So our philosophy is be where the consumer is. Yes, we are Delhi NCR centric for now, but Goa is our first foray outside. And who knows, we will be in Hyderabad soon. All right, thank you.